Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind screams, the rain cuts, the world around you trembles. But the real storm isn't outside. It's in your mind. Every decision, every doubt, every what if flashes like lightning, and your thoughts crash into each other like waves. You tell yourself you just need to relax, to stop thinking so much. But the more you try, the louder it gets. This is what it feels like to live inside your own head, trapped by thoughts that won't stop talking. Before we continue, I want you to do one thing. If you've ever felt this way, if your own mind sometimes feels like a battlefield, subscribe right now. Because what you're about to learn isn't another piece of motivation that fades in a day. It's a mental weapon forged over 400 years ago by a man who mastered the storm within, Miyamoto Musashi. His way of thinking didn't just win duels, it built unbreakable peace. And today, it might do the same for you. Musashi was Japan's most legendary swordsman. 60 duels, no defeats. The first thing Musashi realized was that most people don't lose to life, they lose to distraction. He wrote, "Do nothing that is of no use." Think about that for a second. How much of what fills your mind each day is actually useful? Every scroll, every worry, every argument you replay at night, each one steals a little of your focus. The brain is powerful, but it has limits. Every moment you waste on what doesn't matter weakens you for what does. So Musashi practiced simplicity. He trained himself to remove anything that didn't serve his path, not out of coldness, but out of clarity. He understood that attention is like light. When it's scattered, it burns nothing, but when it's focused, it cuts through steel. Imagine how much sharper your life would feel if you focused only on what truly matters. Every useless thought is a drop of fog. Clarity begins when you start clearing the air. In the mornings, before battle or training, Musashi would sit in silence. No mantra, no ritual, just stillness. He didn't fight his thoughts, he observed them. He learned to see thoughts for what they are, temporary visitors, not commands. And when he rose, his mind was calm, ready to act without hesitation. You can do the same. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, sit for 10 minutes. Let your thoughts wander, but don't follow them. Watch them drift by. You'll realize something powerful. Thoughts lose their power the moment you stop chasing them. Musashi called this state mushin, the mind without clutter. It's not emptiness, it's presence. He didn't divide his focus between thinking and doing. When he fought, he fought. When he walked, he walked. When he wrote, he wrote. Total unity between action and awareness. That's what most of us have lost. We live split between screens and sensations, always halfway present. The way back to clarity is to do one thing fully, even simple things. When you eat, just eat. When you talk, just talk. When you rest, just rest. You'll notice your life slowing down, not because it's boring, but because you're finally living it. Overthinking thrives on separation. The mind runs one way, the body another. You scroll, but you're not really reading. You talk, but you're not really listening. You plan, but you don't move. Musashi's entire life was proof that power comes from alignment, from bringing everything you are into one direction. You don't conquer overthinking by force. You dissolve it through unity. He also believed that movement cures doubt. He wrote, "To know 10,000 things, know one well." We drown in options, analyzing paths until we walk none. The samurai way was different. Act first, refine later. Because clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from it. The modern world teaches you to wait for certainty. But Musashi knew that waiting creates paralysis. Confidence is built not by planning, but by proving to yourself that you can move. You hesitate less when you trust your ability to adjust. Next time you face a decision, give yourself 30 seconds. 10 to understand, 10 to feel, 10 to decide. No more. The longer you wait, the louder fear grows. Action is the blade that cuts through confusion. Every small, bold decision you make reprograms your brain to trust itself again. Overthinking feeds on hesitation. Once you move, it dies of starvation. Musashi's other great insight was about the art of no. During his final years, he refused riches, fame, and attention. He lived alone in a cave and wrote the Book of 5 Rings. Why? Because he understood that true focus isn't found by saying yes. It's built by saying no. Every yes you give to distraction is a no to mastery. We glorify multitasking, but Musashi would call it weakness. His question was simple. Is this useful to my path? If the answer was no, he left it behind. Try this tonight. Write down 3 things you'll stop doing this week. Maybe checking your phone before bed, gossiping, comparing yourself, or saying yes when you mean no. Each no sharpens your life. Each refusal clears the noise. Every time you protect your energy, you step closer to your purpose. The mind, like a blade, dulls with friction and sharpens with restraint. The final and most powerful lesson Musashi taught wasn't about battle or thought, it was about presence. He said, "The true warrior is calm in the heart of chaos." Peace isn't found by escaping the world. It's found by standing firm in it. That's what makes a samurai unbreakable. They don't need the storm to stop. They simply stop letting it move them. We live in an age of storms, information, opinions, pressure. But inside all of us, there's stillness waiting to be rediscovered. You don't need a sword. You don't need to run away. You just need to stop feeding the noise and return to the center. It's there, always has been. Beneath the fear, beneath the chatter, beneath the endless what-ifs. That center is you. Overthinking isn't your enemy. It's a signal. It's your mind begging for direction. And once you start leading it, it follows. The same brain that traps you can also free you. The difference lies in what you give attention to. If you focus on fear, it multiplies. If you focus on purpose, it magnifies. That's the secret Musashi already knew. So take one breath. Right now. One deep breath. Feel it. That's your proof. You're still here, still capable, still alive. You have more control than you think. The storm in your mind might roar, but storms pass. The mountain remains. Be the mountain. And if this message reached something deep inside you, then subscribe. Because here, we don't just talk about change. We practice it, step by step, cut by cut, thought by thought. Together, we learn how to be warriors of the mind, calm, sharp, and free. So join this path, not because it's easy, but because the world needs more people who can think clearly and act courageously. You've spent enough time in the storm. It's time to remember what silence feels like, what clarity feels like, what being truly alive feels like. Start today and never look back.